the thing that I wanted to share, and I'm recording this, but then I also wanted to share with you is like after our demo this morning, or after us working this morning, it occurred to me that the one big thing I noticed was how the mind, when there's learning happening, what people's preconceived notions about what it is get in the way. But not like a bad thing against you or anybody else, but just that, you know, when we were working and I was trying to get you to turn the hips and stay back with the knee, the notion that you had from the video before was as if in the way. And then I was talking to Peter about it this afternoon, and he was like, oh yeah, he's like, yeah, get that crap out of the way. And he's like, this is why I tell people when they come in, like, don't think of boxing, don't think of martial arts, don't think of, you know, whatever else it is. Like in the physical domain, since we are working boxing, it'd be like, well, don't think about boxing at all, because whatever the other person has about boxing, in this case, or martial arts, and I've also seen it myself, like many times, and people come in when they're martial artists, and then I'm trying to teach them how to move differently. For whatever reason, whatever goes on in their mind when they go martial arts is like, it sends them down a very specific road, you know, like, I'm sure you've seen it too, like some, like, I don't know, like karate guys, for example, we're trying to get them to learn yielding. They never want to turn their back. And I get it, you know, in a martial arts world, giving your back away to somebody is like a no-no, right? But then you can see what happens when somebody's like that, when they are thinking like karate or whatever. They won't do certain moves, and because they won't try these certain moves because of their mind, it funnels their training into one direction or another direction, and maybe what's needed is for them to be able to go any direction, or the direction that I might be saying or somebody else might be trying to share. In this case, this example might be the total opposite of what the thinking says. Like, oh, I never turn my back, so then that means I can never learn how to spin completely around, for example, or I can never learn maybe what it is when somebody gets behind me. Like, you know, I'm just, like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, what do you do when the guy takes your back? If you never let anybody back there and are so locked into, I mean, I'm not saying you, but, you know, martial artists in general, whatever, they're locked into a way of thinking that prohibits their learning. And it's the thinking that I often war with, not per se their body, because their body, you know, follows what their mind does, you know, something like that. So yeah, I was talking to Peter. He's like, oh yeah, you got to get rid of all that stuff. And so, like, as we continue to work, it'll be like, all right, what are you thinking? How are you thinking about this? Okay, no, don't think about that. Think like this. Like when we were doing the dodging earlier, and it was like, oh, think smooth or think flow, even though flow might be seen as cheesy and stupid. I don't care what it is. I just care that it works. And again, that's like a mind thing.